If you're a project manager using AI, you probably felt this. One minute, it feels like a total superpower, and the next, it's just so frustrating. So what if you could get the right results every single time? Well, today, we're going to unlock two super simple frameworks that will take your AI prompts from total guesswork to absolute genius. All right, let's dive in.
So, does this sound familiar? You ask your AI for something pretty straightforward, right? Like, hey, whip up a risk register for me. And what you get back is, well, it's generic, it's unhelpful, or sometimes it's just plain wrong. Let me tell you, you are so not alone. This inconsistency is a massive headache for professionals like us who just need reliable results to get our jobs done.
Yeah, and look, most of us fall into one of two traps here. On one side, you've got the guessing game, right? You just type whatever pops into your head and basically cross your fingers. And on the other side, analysis paralysis. Oh man, this is where you overthink every single word and get totally stuck. Let's be real, neither of these works. And for a busy project manager, that's just not going to fly. We don't have time for that.
Okay, so that's the problem we're all facing. But the solution? It's actually something that every single PM already gets. I mean, think about it. You would never run a project without a plan, right? It's just unthinkable. Well, it's the exact same idea with AI. You shouldn't be using it without a framework.
And this right here is the absolute key. The solution isn't about trying harder or spending more time staring at your screen. It's about having a better system. A good framework takes the mental load off your shoulders, it makes your results way more consistent, and, this is the big one, it makes getting great results repeatable. It's really the first step to letting the AI do the actual heavy lifting for you.
All right, let's jump into level 1. This is what I want you to think of as your new default, your go-to for most of your daily tasks. It's called the RTF framework, and honestly, its beauty is just how simple it is.
So what is RTF? It stands for Role, Task, and Format. That's it. You tell the AI who you want it to be, what you need it to do, and what you want the final output to look like. It's amazing how this tiny little bit of structure adds so much clarity and just completely changes the quality of the results you get.
Okay, just look at the difference here. It's night and day, right? On the left, create a risk register. I mean, that's a total gamble. Who knows what you're going to get? But look at the RTF version. We gave it a role, an experienced project manager. We gave it a specific task, a risk register for a software project with all the key details. And we gave it a format, put it in a table. See? It's the same basic request, but that little bit of specificity, it guarantees you're going to get something way, way better.
So the big question is, when do you actually use RTF? Honestly, think of this as your workhorse. It's for like 80% of what you need to do. Need a quick first draft of something? Use RTF. Need to summarize a long document? RTF. Anytime you want something clean and structured, like a table or a bulleted list, you got it. If you're in a hurry, RTF is absolutely your best friend.
Okay, but what about those other times? You know, the more complex, high-stakes stuff where good enough just isn't good enough. Well, for that, we need to level up. So let's talk about our power-up, the CREATE framework.
Now, CREATE is definitely more detailed, and that's by design. It gives you much finer control. It stands for Character, Request, Examples, Adjustments, Type of Output, and Evaluation Criteria. Whoa, right? But what all that does is help you add the crucial stuff like context, tone, and quality control for those times when the output has to be spot on. Now, I know what you might be thinking. Seeing all those steps can feel a little intimidating. But here's the most important thing to remember about CREATE. You do not need to write it out like a checklist. The real power comes from just thinking through these elements while you write your normal prompt. Think of it as a mental guide, not some rigid formula you have to follow.
Okay, let's see how this actually works. Imagine you need to write a status update for the execs, and the project is behind schedule. Yikes! You're not just asking for a summary here, right? By thinking with CREATE, you're telling the AI to act like a senior PM. You're adding the critical context that you're behind. You're controlling the tone so it's confident but also transparent. You're basically guiding the AI to create exactly the kind of clear, realistic update that leadership needs to see.
All right, so now you've got two powerful frameworks in your toolbox. The next and most important step is building your strategy, because it really is all about knowing when to use the right tool for the right job.
And to make it super easy, here's a little cheat sheet. For all your daily, routine stuff, quick drafts, simple tasks, just stick with RTF. It's fast, it's easy, it works. But when the stakes get higher, like you're writing for executives or creating a doc that's going to back up a huge decision, that's when you bring out CREATE.
And here's another pro tip. You don't have to nail it on the first try. In fact, a really smart way to work is to start with a simple RTF prompt just to get a first draft out. Then take a look at what you got and start adding in some of those create elements to make it better. This whole process of refining and iterating is super efficient, and you get amazing results without all that pressure to write the perfect prompt from scratch.
You know, once you start using these frameworks all the time, you're going to notice something really cool. There's going to be this fundamental shift in how you even think about working with AI. This is where things get really, really exciting.
The whole point, the biggest takeaway, is this. These frameworks let you change your job title. You stop being the creator, the person who has to stare at a blank page. Instead, you become the reviewer, the editor. The AI gives you a strong first draft, it does all that heavy lifting, and it frees you up to use your brain power for the important stuff: strategy, critical thinking, making it perfect. That right there is the real power.
Okay, so to really make this stick, you've got to turn it into a habit. Just use RTF for your everyday stuff, and then pull out Create for that big, important work. Oh, and here is a massive pro tip. Whenever you write a prompt that gives you an amazing result, save it. Seriously, over time, you'll build your own personal library of awesome prompts that you can just reuse and tweak, which will make you even faster.
So as we wrap this up, I want to leave you with a question so you can put this stuff into action, like right now. Think about your week ahead. What is one high-value task you do all the time? Maybe it's a status report, a risk analysis, whatever. What's the one thing you are going to level up first, using either RTF or Create? Just pick one thing, start there, and I promise you, you're going to see the difference for yourself.